I've this for 2 years, and I gotta say this has really improved my life in the way that I use humidifiers, because I no longer have to worry about this. This is just a set and go type of product. So I want to go over some of the features I think I have really loved over the past 2 years. And I start by having the most important feature, which is right here, where you can set the humidity at whichever level you want. You don't have to worry about if it gets too humid, if it's not humid enough. If you set it, or that is a feature where it tells you that there's not enough water. But basically, once you set it and you don't have to worry about it, it goes up and down. It turns off multiple times during the day because it's too humid in my room. So I set it a little bit lower, and it's just the perfect amount. So that is what I love. The next feature I love is definitely the sleep light right here. You click it once, it blinks a little bit, as you can see, and then it just disappears. It's still working perfectly fine. See, it comes back on because there's no water. But yeah, it works perfectly fine, but there's no light because I hate blue light or any light in my room when I'm trying to sleep. And this is definitely needed in my bedroom because I love this so much. So that is definitely another best feature. Also, another one, surprisingly, is this kind of nozzle right here. I love you are able to kind of very easily spin it, but also because you can put it in opposite directions, you can get one from this direction and one in this direction to fill the room more easily, because sometimes you put it in just a single direction, it only goes one way and takes a lot longer to fill the room up with the humidity. So that's why I really love it. But next, I gotta go to a feature that I'm a little bit worrisome of, because after having it for 2 years, nothing has happened yet. But I gotta say I'm not confident, because as you can see, although this design is super convenient, that you just have a handle right built into the water tank that you can just lift and go. As you can see, it is being held together by a small plastic bit. I don't know if you can see how thin that is on the side right here. If this snaps, it's done. And we're considering how big the capacity is. If you filled it up, I have filled it up all the way multiple times. I've lifted the handle to test it. It's perfectly fine. It's not going to snap, but I'm scared for the longevity of it, because if I do this multiple times, eventually I feel this might snap because of how rigid it seems in there. So this, although I have issues with, is something that I worry about constantly. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Next, I want to go over the cleaning aspect, because since having it for 2 years, I've had to clean this multiple times. So for other humidifiers, where it's a pain in the butt, well, this one, it is not too hard, because you lift this up, all you gotta do is put water, and you may need a sponge to go in there and scrub it out, but that is about it. And also because the tank, the opening is so big, I can get my hand and really wash it and scrub it out in every corner very easily. And the only part you need to worry about is the down here part. This is where the one water sits, so it's less likely to get dirty. But even still, I can get a sponge and just go over it very quickly. I also put it like that and get underneath sometimes. And this whole thing, this is where the mist comes out. So this is definitely an important part to wash. If this thing just completely comes off, and you can definitely get a sponge in there. And this part also comes off if you just you press these two clips together, and it comes right out right here, so you can very easily clean everything about this. And if you're concerned about this tube being too long for a sponge, not to worry, they thought about that too. All you gotta do is just twist it, and it comes right on and off. So they really have thought of everything. When it turns out, when it comes to cleaning, it is super modular, and it's super easy to take apart and put it back on. And lastly, you have here, like, you can also take this whole thing apart, scrub it very easily. And a little sponge pad here, you can get a sponge, get in there, clean it, get in here, clean it. So everything about this, it's super easy to clean. My previous humidifier, I had to go in nicks and crannies. I had to use chopsticks to put stuff into, because my hand was too big for the openings. This is so much simpler, and I'm so glad that I made this purchase. And lastly, what we have is durability, to see how good the materials have held up over time. And it's hard to see right now. It looks pretty brand new, but if you go over it, there is some dust, there is watermarks, but I don't really see any actual scratches. There are a lot of stains, like water stains here, and that's just due to me not cleaning it that well. But yeah, I don't really see any marks, but that doesn't mean it can't leave marks. So that's why I'm going to go over it with a pair of scissors to see how well it does. Start with the silver right here. Let's see how well, let me try to scratch this thing up, see how well that holds up. And as you can see right there, it did leave a mark. I don't know how well you can see it. It did leave a mark to me right now, but even with the light on, it's pretty hard to notice, and especially with the light off, you can't really see it at all anymore. Next is the white parts. Let's see how well that does. Oh, you guys definitely cannot pick that up. I'm trying to show it on camera, but it's not coming through, but I can definitely see it right here. Only see it with the light on. With the light off right now, general room conditions, I can't see anything. So that is a pretty good sign. Same with this one. Oh, this one scratches very easily. Oh my God, I don't want to do too much, but yeah, the plastic part scratches very, very easily. You can see it right there, right where my nail's pointing, right there, that spot. Yeah. If the part you're most concerned about being scratched, should definitely be this part. So overall, above average. This is not a super high-end expensive product. This is not a super, crazy premium product. So as I expected, most parts you can scratch, and you can definitely see the scratches on this tank especially. But for the other parts, you can't really see them, and it still looks pretty brand new. For being used for 2 years, obviously it is not. And you still see a lot of scruff from dust and like water spots. So overall, I'm genuinely pleased for having it this long. It's still functioning exceptionally. The mist still comes out and no problem. The lights turn on. All the features still works. Everything is still good after 2 years. So I can safely say that you're probably not going to run into issues, but honestly, I cannot guarantee that. So hopefully you will give this a chance because this has definitely improved my life.